Have you ever tried to make a change in the way you do business only to have your employees ignore the new procedure or worse, sabotage it? Change is key in business if you want better results, happier clients, and increased profits. But while you may understand the need for change, employees often fear it or fight it. Your job as leader of the business is to get buy-in from those you lead. And I'm going to tell you how to do that in just a minute. Hi, I'm Victoria Downing and welcome to Power Tips TV, where we talk about tips, tactics, and techniques to help you build a strong, profitable remodeling company. Okay, buy-in from employees. What is that exactly? Well, one definition says that buy-in is the process of gaining people's understanding, commitment, and action in support of your goals. I think that's a pretty good example. It's pretty important, don't you think? So important that I'll venture to say that without your employees' buy-in, you are almost certain to fail in your efforts to implement change and improvement. So how do you create this buy-in? Here are some tips. 1. Plan to involve everyone who's going to be involved in supporting and implementing any of these changes. 2. Once you get everybody together, explain the problem. Describe it to them in detail. So let's say that your issue is that jobs are dragging on much longer than the scheduled states. So you want to share the metrics, you want to share the facts, you want to share the details about this problem and what you've seen. Be sure that everyone understands how this problem is affecting the company. So you may say something like this. Our schedules ran over an average of 15% for the last 5 jobs we completed. Because our schedules weren't met, our costs on each job also increased an average of 5%. This drove our gross profit margin on these jobs down to 30%. As we discussed in our company meeting last week, our gross profit goal is 35%. Great, you stated the problem. Next, talk about the consequences. Get your employees thinking and talking by asking questions like this. So, if this is the situation, what happens when we don't meet our company profit goals? Again, get them talking. How does this problem affect our clients, do you think? Do you think this would affect what our clients said about us to other prospective clients? What do you think the consequences will be if we don't fix the problem? Why does that matter? Keep asking these kinds of probing questions until they really get to the heart of the issue. Once they do, explain to them why their specific input is so important to the process. Now, Tom and Dave, I've asked you to be part of this meeting because you're on the job every day interacting with the clients, and you understand why the client experience is so important to the company. Plus, because of your experience, you really understand the issues that are throwing those monkey wrenches into production. We really want your input to help us fix this problem. Make them feel good. You do want them. You can't solve everything. Employees need to have a sense of how their roles interweave with the larger goals of the company. So ask for their input then on ways to solve the problem. Brainstorm. Talk about it. Think of ideas and list the most common causes of the problem and go after those causes. For example, if you're regularly missing schedules because some of the necessary materials weren't on the job, add this reason to the list. It's best to write down all of the causes of the problem first, then look for commonalities and create new processes around that. Encourage everybody to discuss. So Tom, what do you think? Will this help? Ask them for their input. Then decide on the best avenue forward. Once the path forward has been decided, you need commitment from everyone in the room. Not just agreement. You want everybody to verbally commit to the agreed plan. If somebody's not talking, if they're staying silent, they're not committed. So don't let that happen. Ask them, be right up front. Hey, Tom, I didn't hear you say yes, you were committed. Are you? And make sure before you leave the meeting. After the meeting's over and everyone's back at work, keep this new procedure or policy or decision at the top of mind. Talk about it at meetings. Praise people that are following it and getting results. Ask people to share their thoughts about how the new procedure is impacting their lives. Share the improvements the new policy is creating. And more importantly, celebrate success. How do you build in buy-in from your team? Please share your experiences in the comment box below. We want to know. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to Power Tips TV, where we'll be sharing best practices from top remodelers each and every week. And you can visit us at remodelersadvantage.com to become a member. joining the thousands of other remodelers who want greater success and are working together to get it. Thanks, and see you next week. Could you believe he really said talent until you watch Groundhog Day? Did he really say talent?
Yeah. I've seen it over and over
Yeah, every once in a while you just strike me funny. That's a good one. Now it's gonna take me a while. Now I gotta get all the mascara out. You want this to drag out and say something funny right before we start? That's a good way to get going. Yeah.